So let's talk about the Electoral College, or make a case against it. And a lot of people watching this video will probably say, hey, political cuttlefish, you're just making this video because you're butthurt about Hillary Clinton losing. And I'll admit, there's some truth to that. Uh, this is the second time in my life that who, in my opinion, was the better candidate won the popular vote but lost the election. So yeah, I do think that probably factors into why I'm kind of bitter with the electoral vote. But I still think my arguments should be able to hold up to some respect. Mainly, I'm going to address the two main counter arguments to it, and I'm going to try and give my rebuttal to them. Okay, the first is that we need to give more power to the rural areas. We need to kind of inflate their voting power. Otherwise, just the cities will have all the power, and they'll use that to like screw over the like less populated areas. But and I can see why the founding fathers would have thought that, since they were really starting the first government of their kind, and like there hadn't really been too much of a democracy like ever since like ancient Greece. So it was a pretty untested system. But now, like, pretty much every democratic country, maybe every, I haven't been able to find a counterexample besides us, but maybe there is one. So I'm not going to say that every single country, but a ton of democratic countries like England and Canada, they use the popular vote. They don't have an electoral college. And that thing where like the cities gang up on the like farmlands and whatever, that hasn't happened. Like the cities haven't like gang raped the like farming areas and the small towns, because people in cities, they generally want a functioning society. So they're not gonna just all gang up to try and make life a living hell for the like less populated areas. So I really doubt that would happen in the United States, because just if you look at Canada or you look at England, like the farmland isn't some like impoverished third world nation because the cities are just draining all their resources and using their vote power to just completely screw them over. That hasn't happened. And now the second one is that even without the people, like even disregarding the population, each state in and of itself needs to have power. And I have two kind of rebuttals to this. The first is that, well, even if we went with the popular vote, the states still have people in them, and they still have their House of Representatives people, and they still have the Senate. And secondly, I think the idea of like that states need to have their own voting powers, I mean, it was really harkens back to the days like back in the 18th century when America, like the states, the original plan was practically for the states to be their own nation. In fact, for most of the time, a state had referred to an independent nation. So that was the plan going forward, and they're supposed to be like tightly allied but individual nations. And so the electoral college, like each state was supposed to have more power, but ever since the Civil War, that's not really the way it's been. Like we've all been regions of one country. So I think the need for states to have their own power just as political entities to an extent has gone down, and states would still have a lot of power in the Congress and stuff, but I think with the electoral vote we can change that. Okay, so if you have any counter arguments, and I've heard them before, but maybe you'll come up with something new, so please post it in the comment. If you think I made good points, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Thank you. Cuttlefish out.